I don't. Have you ever watched Triumph of the Will?
I think I may. Yeah.
Even today, knowing how evil that man was and all of the horrible things he did, there's a little part of me that when I first watched it thought, this is a wonderful man. He is doing good things. You watch Night and Fog and you regret you could not have killed him before he did all of those things. That's the power of language and symbolism to shape the world out there.
Are there any antidotes which can be used by the public?
I published an article, maybe 10 years ago, titled A Very Immodest Proposal. And it basically says that with language, we can shut down those who would perpetuate evil to do the kinds of things by simply using language. Politeness, at least in the United States, dictates that if you are a public official, that I speak to you as if you were a worthwhile, dignified person. I use your title, professor or president or mister or doctor. My contention is, with language, when it comes to the Hitlers of the world, we can strip away that veneer of respectability and we can, to use Madeleine Albright's expression, call it the way we see it. People think I am crude and rude when I speak of politicians in the United States who accept bribes. I call them whores. They have sold themselves. At least a female whore is honest enough to admit she's selling herself. Our politicians wrap themselves in the flag, in patriotism and dignity. How dare you speak to me that way? Well, my contention is, if we address people in more appropriate ways, we could strip away their veneer of respectability. So if Goebbels or if Hitler or if Mengele had not been afforded dignity that they did not earn, did not deserve through language, and had been addressed as the hideous animals they were, I doubt very many people have the internal strength to resist that kind of confrontation.
So you reckon there is a process, a real process of construction of dignity through language given to people who have no dignity at all?
Who have not earned it, who do not deserve it, and who do evil. And evil is a loaded word, but I do believe that evil exists.
So yours is a message of daring, of taking the responsibility to shut up positions whenever required.
Yes. Now, that makes me unpopular.
Yeah.
That makes me an outcast.
Yeah.
That people have told me I have a bad attitude. And I probably do.
Monolith of deaf belief of the people in what is being they've been told is crumbling down in countries like Italy, and a few people still believe in the nice words of Berlusconi, for instance. What part of general semantics can be taught to improve the awareness of the people?
Well, the article I sent you and the PowerPoint dealing with human perception. Professor Heil, H-E-I-L I think is his name, differentiated between direct and indirect perception.
Yes.
Direct perception, those things I access through my senses. I touch it, I see it, I hear it, whatever. Indirect perception, those things I access through language and culture. Learning the difference and then learning to recognize how have I acquired this. Direct perception or indirect perception can make an enormous difference in what I do next. Once I understand that, whoa, wait a minute, this is a linguistic map, not a touch map, not a sight map. I no longer can behave as I would have before that. And to me, that's a very useful way to cope with the world out there.